What is happening in the Lakers facility right now? Decision making, roster building, coaching search. Give me the whole soup to nuts, best you can tell me right now.
I believe what's going on now is game planning for the offseason, right? And their first order of business is figuring out who the head coach of this roster will be. And so I think when you look at Rob Pelinka, their general manager, you look at Kurt Rambis, who's an advisor there. Those will be two of the names that, of course, will be part of the decision-making process, along with, Jeannie Buss in ownership and the rest of that group. And that's their first order of business. Roster-wise, of course, the Russell Westbrook situation looms as well this offseason. What happens with him? He has a $47 million player option. The sides could ultimately end up having a discussion in terms of which trade possibility might make sense. Is there a buyout possibility that might make sense? I think that's, I think that still has some work to be done as far as getting to that point. But overall, there's no question the first order of business is trying to figure out which direction you want to go with your head coach. Do you want to go with more of a veteran? Do you want to go with, do you want to go with an assistant coach? Are you willing to pay top dollar, the $8, $9, $10 million range? When I talk to prospective coaching candidates in the space, it's like, the Lakers going to be in that mode of paying the top dollar and being a significant player in the space. And I mean, these are all questions internally they're going to have to figure out, in terms of what direction they want to go in.
Well, I mean, there's a couple things you just said I want to follow up on. The first thing is, like any coach, like you mentioned Nick Nurse moments ago, the current Raptors head coach with 2 years left on his contract. For him to go down a road, let's just say this, like just for him in specific, going down a road, wouldn't he want to know before taking the job how much longer LeBron plans to stay there? And whether Westbrook is something he's going to have to, if for the lack of a better phrase, deal with? Wouldn't that have to be decided before a coach takes such a leap of faith to try and get out of a contract? And then forget about the dollars and cents, which I'll get to in a second. Just give me your thoughts on that issue.
Those questions will have to be a part of the discussion for sure. And I think that is something that will come up no matter who the coaching candidate is. What's the future of a LeBron James? What's the future of Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis? LeBron James has an extension opportunity coming up in August, and I expect that to be more of a discussion for the summer. But with 1 year left on his deal, there's not going to be a pressure point where the Lakers are going to apply on him. It's going to be a discussion that's going to go into July and August. So until then, I don't think there's going to be much clarity on that. But for sure, that the futures of these significant players is going to be a part of the discussion.
And then why don't the Lakers pay all that money? Right? I mean, they're we just saw what they're worth from, what was that? Forbes came out and gave that list. Sportico or something. Yeah. So we're there's no cap on what you pay the coach. Well, why are the Lakers suddenly known as an organization that might not pay for the coach that they can, the best one that they can get? Like what gives on that front?
I think that is more just, coaching prospective candidates having that question, right? And I think when you think of the Knicks and you think of the Lakers, you obviously think of there's no cap.
Right.
But, when you think of a Nick Nurse, I'm told he's making $8 million a year on his contract in Toronto. And when you're thinking about a coach that's going to leave a prospective position, you would want, obviously more than $8 million.
Yes.
So, again, like that's a significant salary. That would put Nick Nurse at one of the most – he's already one of the upper echelon, paid coaches, but you might have to get to that $9, $10, $11 million type of mark for him to leave that situation. So I think these are just questions that are asked when you look at the prospective candidates that are potentially out there.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.